Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's session, we are going to learn how we can use Azure AD connectors inside Power Apps and as well as how we can use Azure AD connectors inside Power Automate. So to explain the entire concept, I would be using Office 365 group and using Azure AD connector, I'll be making queries to that group and we'll be adding users as well as we'll be checking the memberships. So consider a scenario where your Power Apps should be only available to the senior leadership team and they should only able to access it, nobody else. So as in one of my previous videos, I have explained how you can manage the user permissions via SharePoint list. You can add all users in a list and then in the Power App you can just make validation whether that person is under that access control list or not. So that is one way of managing permission, and the other way I'm going to tell you today is using Azure AD connector. So let's jump to the demo. So I have opened my make.powerapps.com and from this I'll be creating one blank app. So I'm just saying it demo Azure AD connector and just choose the tablet layout. So meanwhile it loads, I can show you this senior leadership group. So if you are having admin access to portalazure.com, this AD section, then you would be seeing all the groups. So I've just opened one senior leadership group, which I have already created, and you can see right now there is no members inside it. There is no subgroups or the owners is still 0. And in this details section, you can see there is object ID. This object ID we are going to use while we are making connection to the Azure AD group. So I'm just going back to my Power App. Now I have it. So first of all, to give you what this Azure AD connector can return us, I'm just adding this Azure AD as a data source. So now you can see Azure Active Directory is an identity and access management cloud solution that extends your on-premise directory to the cloud. So if you are working directly with our directory, then we'll be using this Azure AD connector. So I'm just clicking that, adding a connection. So now I'm just zooming it out, and now I'll drop one label so that we can see all the activities which we are going to do, what values these are returning in our label. So first of all, I'll start with how to add a user into this senior leadership group via this Azure AD connector. So I'll just drag one button as well, so that on click of that button I'll add users. So I'm just changing that caption as add user. Now we are going to add the currently logged in user to that Azure AD group. Right, so I am on selection. I'm going to use this connector Azure AD. Now you can see I get many functions. The first one is add user to the group. So we are going to learn how we can add the users to the group. So I'm using this one. Now you can see it's taking two parameters. One is ID, and that is a group ID, and the other is odata.id. And what that means is, like, whatever we are getting a response for one user, then we'll be fetching out that ID of that specific user. So how to fetch the ID of the specific user? I can just go to this label, and again I'll just use Azure AD connector, and I'll use method get user. So under this, if you see, I can pass this user email address as a parameter. So I'm just taking the user currently logged in user email address, and I'll be just extracting out the ID of that user. So now you can see my label is actually showing me one unique ID, and this ID is object ID for that user. So we are going to use this object ID while we are adding the user. So now I'm going back to this onSelect function, and now I'll just pass on the group ID. So I'll just go back to this group, and as I said, this object ID we are going to use while we are working with groups. I'm just copying this one and just pasting it, and along with that I'll be passing the, either I can pass the value of this label field, or I can directly like copy this one and paste it over here, so that I can pass the ID of that currently logged in user to my this method add user to group. So now we are done with this adding user to the group. I'll just run that so that we can just validate. So I'm clicking this add user button. So now I should be able to see that member inside my this SLT group, senior leadership group. I'm just scrolling down, you can see this showing direct members, one user, and if you go on the members you will see what that user is. Alright, so my user is there. Okay, so now I am going back to my this Power App. So as we just did the add user operation, so possibly your app you would like to build could have this adding or removing users from the Azure Active Directory directly from here. Then you can use this method. And now I'm going to show you how you can actually manage the permissions. For example, you are making some application which should be only available for the senior leadership. So one way, as I said, we can just make a ACL access control list inside SharePoint and then keep validating the user IDs from there. And the other ways, we can just have this group created under Azure Active Directory, and we can just validate the access for this group. So I am again dropping one label so that I can show you what I am going to use over here. So I am just using again Azure AD connector, and now this time we will be using the different methods check member groups. So this method would be checking the currently logged in users ID against this group ID. So this first ID is unique identifier for user, so we can just use email address, and then second identifier, then this one is property, then second identifier is group ID. So I can just again copy this one and go back. So it's expecting group ID, so we can check group members against various groups, and we can pass that as an array. So right now I'm just going to check in one group, so I'm just passing the single value. This is how we can pass it. I'm just closing this function and reading the value out of it. So now we have, though like we have written the function correctly, but it's giving us error. And why is that so? Because we are setting this as a property, and though like it's the behavior is a function. So if you can see the error is showing is behavior function in a non-behavior property. So you can't use this property to change values elsewhere in the app. So where is the right way of doing it? So we have to have this in place, and if you go back to your this tree view, then on start of application we'll be just doing this validation whether this group this current user falls under a specific group or not. So right now if I just pasted that on start, so on start of this application, the first thing it would do, it would compare the current user address against the members of that Azure group. So now it's not giving me error, but we are not yet done, because we want to extract true or false out of it, or something like is the value which is being returned is blank or not, so that I can use that value in my subsequent phases for setting up the admin section for the SSLT team. So right now I'll be using the if condition is empty. If it's returning empty, then if it's not returning empty, then I'll set one variable. So let's say variable admin to true, else I'll set the variable as false, so that I can use the same stuff going forward. So okay, so my this Azure directory method got displaced. Now I have it I can just close that out. Alright, so our function is ready. So I'm just checking whether it's this check member group user function is returning non-empty thing. Then I'm setting this variable as where admin is true, and if it's not, then I'm setting that as false. So this is how on load of this application you can set these properties, these values, and in subsequent screens you can utilize that. So let me just drop one more button so that I can just show you. Let me rename that as admin. So if a person clicks on this button, it will be redirected to. So if the user clicks on this admin button, it will be redirected to the admin section where they can manage or do the admin operations. So on this visibility stuff of this button, I would use that variable where admin. So if user is part of that group, then it will be visible, otherwise it will be disabled, not visible. So if you run it from here, this on app start would not call, so your variable would not get set. So you have to run it once you save it from this panel, this section. So I'm just playing this demo Azure AD connector. So now on the application start, it will make a query to check the current user being part of that admin group or not. So now you can see it's visible for me, but if you just run that in preview, definitely it's not going to make that visible because it doesn't run that on start thing. So that's how you can leverage the Azure AD connectors in Power Apps, and possibly there could be many scenarios where you would like to have a Azure AD connector inside your Power Apps. And quickly I would like to touch base on the this flow as well, so that I can show you that the same connector is available inside the flows. So if you are writing some Power Automate and would like to have these Azure AD connectors to make the validation, then you can use the same connectors inside this flow. So I'm just quickly creating one instant flow from bank. I'm just skipping it, and when let's say manual trigger, so I'm just for the demo I'm just taking that as manual trigger. And if you see, if I'm just search for Azure AD, then you would see that there is connector for Azure AD. If you click on that, you will get the number of functions where you can utilize within Power Automate. For example, add user to the group. So for example, if somebody is adding something to SharePoint, then if you want to add the same user to a group, specifically if you are running this Power Automate with the admin account, then you would able to do that. You can create the users, you can assign manager, and most of the working this Azure AD operation you can do using this connectors. And there are lot many, I mean, like the Power Automate has lot many flexibility over the Power Apps. But Power Apps could be like platform where you can just want to share the apps for the senior leadership. So the idea behind showing you the demo is you can make that visualization happen. And if I go back to this thing, then you can create the, as well as along with the users, you can also work with the create security groups. So there are a lot many the functions which are available in Power Automate. So you may try your hand on these, and as well as Power Apps as well as Power Automate, and you would able to like find out or think out many more scenarios where you are going to utilize these connectors. So I hope this could be a useful video for you, and if you like it, please do subscribe my channel. Thank you.